And now to bring the Board of Peace into full force, I ask Sheikh Isa of Bahrain and Foreign Minister Bourita of Morocco to join me in signing and ratifying the Board of Peace Charter. Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, that was Donald Trump at the ceremony, the inauguration of his Board of Peace. You can see here he's shaking some hands with fellow world leaders. They're going to sign what appears to be a charter. I'm still joined by Vaughn and Inez. Vaughn, let's start with you. A lot of pageantry, some interesting tidbits, I suppose. He said he's talked with Iran. He talked about reconstructing Gaza, committed to doing that. He said he wants this Board of Peace to work in conjunction with the United Nations as a supplement or a partner, I suppose. He said he's calling the world a region. I'm not sure what that meant exactly. But what did you make of this? To me, it was interesting, but I suppose more interesting was who was not there versus who is there. But I'm curious for your thoughts.
Right. I think Mark Carney, the Canadian Prime Minister, just 48 hours ago, on that very stage, made the case that the paradigm of the global order is effectively ruptured, that this isn't a slow transition. And Donald Trump, the American president, essentially is telling us right there who he feels are the closest allies of the United States of America. You don't see Denmark, France, the UK, and Germany, all countries that declined his invitation to be part of his Board of Peace that he is going to be the chair of for as long as he likes in this life, even after his presidency. Instead, you see him there with Javier Milei. You see him there with Middle Eastern monarchs. You see him there with the Belarus dictator, the Hungarian autocratic leader, Viktor Orban, and Donald Trump saying that everyone in the world everyone in this room is a star. You're the most important people in the world. You're the most powerful.
Right. Among the countries who invited and accepted: Albania, Argentina, Azerbaijan, Bahrain, Belarus, Egypt, Hungary, Indonesia, Jordan, Israel, Kazakhstan, Kosovo, Morocco, Pakistan, Paraguay, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and the UAE. Inez, look, I want to not be too cynical about this. They are signing some sort of charter, but what is the actual function, as we understand it, for this Board of Peace beyond the construction, or I should say, the rebuilding of Gaza?
Well, that's what it was meant to do initially when it was first announced in September. It was meant to be an organization that would oversee the reconstruction of Gaza, the administration of Gaza. It has been heavily criticized since then, many who, saying that the Palestinians don't have enough of a voice, that it doesn't deal with Gaza enough, that its scope has now extended way beyond Gaza. And that's been concerning to European allies specifically, who are worried that this organization could replace the UN. That was one of the reasons the French decided not to join the Board of Peace. We heard from the French foreign minister saying they do support the U.S. peace plan, but they don't support the creation of a new body that would replace the UN. We're also hearing from the UK this morning, the British Foreign Secretary saying that the UK will not be joining the Board of Peace because they are worried about Russia's role. We know President Trump has said that Russia was invited to the Board of Peace. We haven't heard from the Kremlin whether they would actually join. But as Vaughn was just mentioning, that has been the big concern here, that the countries that are joining are not these kind of liberal democracies, close U.S. allies. They are these autocratic regimes, and none of the European countries were there today on stage. So we'll see what more comes out of that. There's still a lot we don't know about this Board of Peace. I will say we did hear from the U.S. ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, shooting down reports that there is a $1 billion entry fee to this Board of Peace. He says that's not the case, so we'll see if we get any more on that. He says that countries will have to contribute to the reconstruction of Gaza, but he's shooting down reports that there is a $1 billion entry fee.